Young and the Restless spoilers. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful Tuesday, and we have a massive amount of drama to unpack from Genoa City. Let's dive right in. I cannot believe she is doing this right now. I am literally typing this up late at night after watching the latest episode, and my hands are shaking because I am just so incredibly frustrated with Diane Jenkins. Are we seriously watching her act like she is the ultimate victim in this scenario? I mean, I just can't wrap my head around her logic anymore. She is being so ridiculous and over the top that it is actually painful to watch. We all know she loves Jack. We all know she doesn't want to lose him. But her pride is so massive, so incredibly inflated, that she is willing to throw away the best thing that ever happened to her just to make a point. It is madness, pure, unadulterated madness. I've been watching this show since 2015, and I have seen some truly wild character arcs. But this is the absolute worst thing they've done with Diane's character since she came back from the dead. Remember when they tried this kind of stubborn victim routine with her before? Yeah, didn't work then either. Let's not forget who we are dealing with here. Diane faked her own death. She let her own son, Kyle, mourn her for years while she ran around doing whatever she wanted. She has a rap sheet a mile long of manipulations, lies, and betrayals. But the second Jack makes a mistake he didn't even intentionally make, she suddenly thinks she has the moral high ground. Give me a break. Because let's look at the actual facts of what happened. Jack did not cheat on her willingly. He did not actively seek out Patty Williams to betray his marriage vows. He was framed. He was literally drugged and set up on that boat. Victor Newman orchestrated this entire nightmare because Victor cannot stand to see Jack happy. Victor used Patty, who is completely unhinged, to drug Jack and create this compromising situation. Jack was a victim of a crime, for crying out loud. But Diane is acting like Jack rented a hotel room and planned a secret rendezvous. I mean, how can she not see that she is playing right into Victor's hands? Victor wanted to destroy their marriage, and Diane is handing him the victory on a silver platter. And Jack has paid the price. Oh my God, has he paid the price? He has apologized until he is blue in the face. He has begged for her forgiveness. He has tried to explain the setup, the drugs, the manipulation. He has practically crawled on his hands and knees through the Abbott mansion to prove his devotion to this woman. But Diane just crosses her arms, glares at him, and refuses to budge. She is terrified of losing him. You can see the fear in her eyes every single time he walks out of the room, but she refuses to offer him an ounce of grace. She is pushing him away with both hands while secretly praying he won't go far. It is a toxic, exhausting game, and frankly, I am sick of watching it. So what happens now? Jack is exhausted. You can physically see the toll this is taking on him. The man has bags under his eyes. His posture is defeated, and the light has completely left his soul. He is tired of fighting. He is tired of begging a woman who refuses to listen. Jack has reached his absolute breaking point. He cannot endure this emotional torture anymore. He wants to be free. Yes, you heard me right, Jack Abbott, the man who fought the entire town of Genoa City to defend Diane Jenkins, now just wants out. He wants to leave her behind and find some peace. He wants to find new happiness because this marriage has become a prison of guilt and resentment. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the Nikki Newman situation. Because of course, just when Jack is feeling his lowest, who does he turn to? Nikki. And of course, Diane catches them in what she perceives as a compromising situation. Am I the only one who thinks Diane's reaction to this was completely unhinged? I mean, I kinda get being upset seeing your husband with his ex, but wait, no, I don't get it. Nikki is going through hell right now. Her son Nick just crashed his car into a cliff. He might have permanent brain damage. And Nikki is literally screaming in hospital waiting rooms. Jack and Nikki have decades of history. They share a deep bond. Jack was likely just comforting a friend whose world is falling apart. But Diane walks in and immediately assumes Jack is betraying her again. She doesn't ask. She just attacks. Okay, back to the main point. Let's talk about the giant, terrifying elephant in the room, Patty Williams. I am sorry, but Patty is a walking disaster zone. Remember when she poisoned Summer Newman years ago? She is dangerous. She is completely obsessed with Jack, and her mind is not grounded in reality. And what is Jack doing? Because he is so heartbroken and exhausted by Diane's rejection, he is actually trying to manipulate Patty. He thinks he can use Patty's obsession to expose Victor's setup. What is he thinking? This is the worst idea in the history of Genoa City. You cannot play games with someone like Patty Williams. She is not a pawn on a chessboard. She is a live grenade with the pin pulled out. Jack is playing with absolute fire. He thinks he is in control, but Patty's delusions are going to take over. She is going to realize that Jack is just using her, or her obsession is going to reach a boiling point, and she is going to harm him. I am genuinely terrified for Jack's safety right now. Patty could literally kill him, and Jack is too blinded by his exhaustion and his desperate desire to clear his name to see the danger right in front of his face. It is horrible and so incredibly pitiful to watch him spiral like this. And here is the most tragic, infuriating part of this entire storyline. Right now, at this exact moment, Diane is finally starting to change her tune. After weeks of freezing him out, after pushing him to the absolute edge of his sanity, Diane is sitting in her room contemplating forgiveness. She is finally realizing that her stubbornness is going to cost her the love of her life. She is thinking that maybe she should forgive him. Maybe she should let him off the hook, but it is too late. I am screaming at my screen. It is too late, Diane. Jack does not need her forgiveness anymore. The window has closed. He has already grieved the loss of this relationship. He has already accepted that the woman he loves does not trust him and will never truly have his back when things get hard. Diane is about to walk downstairs, offer an olive branch, and find out that the tree has already been cut down. Jack is done. He has emotionally packed his bags. And Diane is going to be left standing there, realizing that she destroyed her own marriage over a bruised ego. I know some people are loving this. I see the comments in the forums and the group chats. People are saying that Jack deserves to suffer for getting anywhere near Patty, or that Jack is weak and Diane should make him sweat. But personally, I completely disagree. I think Jack is a tragic victim in this specific scenario, and Diane is acting like a cruel, unforgiving tyrant. She is throwing away a man who defended her against his own family, against his friends, against the entire world. And for what? Because Victor Newman played a trick on them. It is pathetic. So what is going to happen next? I am dreading it. I really am. I predict that Jack's dangerous game with Patty is going to blow up in his face in the worst possible way. Patty is going to snap, Jack is going to end up in the hospital or worse, and Diane is going to have to live with the guilt that she pushed him into this reckless behavior. Because if she had just listened to him, if she had just forgiven him when he was begging on his knees, Jack wouldn't be out there trying to manipulate a psychopath to clear his name. And you just know Victor Newman is sitting in his office or at the ranch, sipping his drink and laughing at all of this. Victor didn't even have to try that hard. He just set the bait, and Diane did all the heavy lifting for him. Victor wanted to break Jack's spirit, and Diane handed Victor the hammer. It makes me so mad that she can't see the bigger picture. She is letting her ancient rivalry with Victor and her own insecurities tear down her marriage. Jack needed a partner to fight Victor, and instead, he got a judge and jury who condemned him without a fair trial. Diane is making a grave, monumental mistake. She is sealing her own fate. She is going to end up completely alone, wandering the halls of that massive Abbott mansion, listening to the echoes of a life she threw away. She will be lonely for the rest of her life, and honestly, she will have no one to blame but herself. She let her pride win, and in the game of soap opera love, pride is always the deadliest poison. I am just so frustrated with her. Am I crazy for feeling this way? Let me know, because I feel like I am taking crazy pills watching this woman self-destruct right before our eyes.